And we welcome you to beautiful Lewis Downs in Gainesville, Florida, here in the swamp. I am Jimmy Rakes, of course, your stride by stride guide for today's action. Before I send it over to Chris Lewis and Nate Willett for the rest of our pregame festivities, let's take a quick look at the weather. And it'll swamp once again living up to its name. We have rain here at Lewis Downs. The dirt track will be running muddy. The turf track will be running soft. And the synthetic track, though, will be running good. So let's go ahead, send it over here to my partner who today is right next to me, Chris Lewis. Take it away, boy.
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy. Yeah, we're in the same booth this time. And guys, the weather is actually exactly the same as 2 weeks ago, where you can see that it's rare that the synthetic track would run good, but it also did 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so bad rain again. It'll probably affect today's results. All right, so I thought we'd start out at the top. Let's look at the standings. So year one, right? This is 2 years ago. This was number one, two, and three. The gap between first and second was over 300 grand. Second and third, 300 grand. We'd say first and third was well over 500,000. The gap between first and third. I'm gonna illustrate a point here when we get to year three, but year two, uh, the top three were Nate, Kalen, and Alex. Second and third was real close, but you could see it was still just about $400,000 between first and third. This year we've got way closer margins. The gap between first and second is about 60,000, which is about 6 times closer than it was last year, and what, five and a half times closer than in year one. And then the gap between second and third is also pretty close. So the gap between first and third, that's between Brett and Jimmy, is way closer than the gap this same at the same time in previous years between first and second. Um, So it's great. I mean, this thing's going to be decided on the last day, probably on the last race. Uh, yeah, close. What you might notice is different in year three is that you don't have Nate in the top three, but he's lurking. He's right there in fourth place. Um, yeah, so close at the top. Last time out, we had the Turf Championships. Here's your 2026 Turf Champions. You'll notice two of Jimmy's there.
Woo!
And then also Charlie's Don't Get Involved and Christian's Foos Picket Fence uh, won Turf Championships. Okay, so the top breeder award, our blue ribbon, goes to the owner whose bred 2-year-olds win the most prize money for the year. So up until now, no two or up until last time out, no 2-year-olds had raced. Now they have, so we've got our top breeder standings for the first time this season, and so it's just based only on day 13. That's all we've got so far. But it's Christian in the lead, the top breeder standings. You can see it there. Of course, Guy won't have any, but he's on the list anyway. Same with Alex; he didn't breed any. And while Casey and Jesse have bred some in the past, they have not bred, of course, this generation's 2-year-olds, so they show up in the standings, but they will be zero. Everyone else has a chance to win, but it's Christian so far.
The guy that just had a baby.
Hey, how about that?
Hey.
He is the top breeder. Okay, while we're talking about breeding stats, let's look at the top sires for 2026. So now this is uh, dad horses based on their 2-year-olds that started 2 weeks ago and their 3-year-olds that were bred the year prior. So, but it's prize money just for this year. So in fifth place is Phantom Ring from Johnny Sable. Just above that is Distracted from Zach's. We Don't Say That's Offspring have won just barely. It's almost a tie for third with Distracted at 185,000. Uh, Second place is Quicksilver, retired horse, was at one time owned by Jesse, and I think Quicksilver actually only has one offspring, and it's Mandelbaum Jr., who Kalen owns, who's been a successful horse. So Quicksilver's in second. Maybe more than one, maybe just the one. All right, so the 2026 top sires.
They probably knows.
All right, so second and third combined, top sires. Quicksilver, and we don't say that, is 650,650. And I show that because Peterburg is
Yeah.
well over that at 787,000, more than second and third combined.
Peterburg.
If you look at the all-time top sires, so you use also the money from last year where Peterburg won the top sire award, you can see he's at about 1 million. He's got multiple offspring that have won stakes races. And it's otherwise the same top five, though. Distracted moves in front of, we don't say that, but it's to illustrate the success that Peterburg's offspring have had. All right, this is a quick story. I might have 2 slides for this, but we got a long-awaited debut today. So, and I'm going to do the thing you're not supposed to do, but primarily just read what my slide says. 3 years ago is when I generated most of the horses in this game. I generated them all the way down to 0-year-olds, right? Newborns. So 80 of them were newborns, and they've had to wait 3 years to race at all. So we'll get back to this shortly, but keep in mind that crop of 80 horses. So most people don't know this, but Brett's dad has a real history with thoroughbred racing in the 1980s. Apparently he had a knack for identifying strong race horses before others saw the value. At first, he identified them for others, and then he started to buy a couple for himself, and he was really good at it. And this was decades ago, but it's pretty cool. Brett's dad won Pennsylvania Trainer of the Year, and a few of his horses were finalists for the Philadelphia Park Horse of the Year, which was a racetrack up there. One of them actually won the Philadelphia Park Horse of the Year. So this is Brett's dad in the middle. And he's over here on the right. And the horse pictured in all 3 pictures is a horse named Entitled 2, who was Brett's dad's best horse, multiple graded stakes winner. So 3 years ago, when I learned about this from Brett and I was naming horses, I was like, you know what would be funny if I name one Entitled 3, because 3 comes after 2, even though it's not entitled to the number. And I told Brett, and he was excited about it. And then we had to wait 3 years for it to matter at all. So Entitled 3 makes their debut today in race number 5.
Brett just messaged me and said he can't make the race.
Oh.
I told him you gotta watch the replay because it's a cool shout out. So.
That's funny timing. All right. Speaking of race number 5, we got Nate for Nate's knowledge. He's out in Utah where he just told us it's 106 degrees, but he's a professional. He's here anyway.
Yeah, it's a hot one here, but we're gonna charge on. Today we reach a major milestone as race number 5 will be the 500th race in HRFL history. Some stats for this major occasion. Coming into today, there have been over $54 million in prize money won. 295 horses have won at least one race. The most common race distance is 9 furlongs with 88 races, while the least common distance is 11 furlongs with 17 races. 267 races have been on dirt, 162 on the turf, 55 on synthetic, and the newly minted downhill courses have had 11. So here's to 500 more.
Hey, thanks, Nate. Awesome. And how about that? Entitled 3 is in that one.
Nice.
All right, let's see what else we got here. Oh, how about this for a fun fact? That's my own Nate's knowledge, just not as good. I was looking at our most recent claim in the league was Mix a Natural, who was unowned, was claimed by Mark on day 12. When that happened, it caused it to be that there are no unowned 6-year-olds left. All 6-year-olds are in the league are owned when after Mark bought Mix a Natural. All right, quick little recap on day 13, because if you've been watching, you've seen that Zach is on an absolute tear. He won 2 more races on day 13. So that's 16 in the last 7 race days. I was able to catch up with him earlier. He wasn't able to join us live, but he submitted some written answers to my questions that Jimmy will read. So I want to say, Zach, it was 2 more wins for you on race day 13. That's 16 wins in the last 7 race days. To what should we attribute this streak?
Being selective and putting horses in races where they have the best chance to succeed. Having such a large stable affords me the flexibility to give a lot of horses opportunities to flex their strengths every race day.
I asked him, hey, even with all the wins, you're in 8th place. Do you expect to be in the top 6 when the season ends on day 17?
Well, with such a large stable, it comes with costs to keep it in shape and running. I do expect to be in the top 6 by the end of the season. We always enjoy and celebrate each win when they happen, but grabbing a stakes victory would go a long way in securing the goal of climbing up the standings.
All right, thanks, Jimmy. I want to thank Zach for meeting up with me earlier. All right, here's a look at the standings. Of course, there was a major shift, an important shift at last race, saying that's Brett moves from 2nd to 1st, passing Alex. There's a new first place stable in the standings. I also highlighted the other change in the top 5 there, where Nate passed Kalen, but I'll also draw your attention to the gap between 4th and 5th with Nate and Kalen. They're in a virtual tie for 4th place. All right, we got 2 commercials this evening, so we're gonna do one now to run us up into the Dark Horse Detective.
A racehorse is a finely crafted instrument, perfectly tuned for speed
Walt Stradivarius taking the lead.
and power. A masterwork of thoroughbred artistry.
And Walt Stradivarius runs away with it.
This is Antonio's Stradivarius. This is Walt's Stradivarius.
All right,
Yeah.
Goosebumps.
that one's for Walt, and
A racehorse is
of course we'll thank Nate for that one.
a finely crafted.
Yes, you're welcome.
How do we skip the slide?
Use your arrow.
Oh, Kalen got it. All right.
There you go.
So that'll lead us into the Dark Horse Detective, where of course I got Jimmy right here. Jimmy.
Yes, Chris, thank you. I can't seem to find all of my notes, so we're just gonna go straight to the point. Race number 12, we're going with Rusty's Revenge. As you can see, huge underdog as an E grade. I believe they love the distance and the surface though. But regardless, we're trying to start a streak here, as got my 3rd Dark Horse Detective win last week, or last race day. So Rusty's Revenge from Zach Stable to win race number 12.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get a streak going.
Yes. Come on, baby.
All right, here's another look at the standings. And we got that other commercial I told you about.
Making transactions with Charlie's Stable is safe and reliable.
Charlie and Scam Likely with the win.
95% of our reviews on Google are 5 stars, and the results speak for themselves.
But Scam Likely dominates this race.
Really, it's just his name. You have nothing to worry about. Scam Likely, standing at Charlie's Stable.
Oh my God. That's so good.
Oh my God, dude.
Making transactions.
Nothing to worry about. It's just his name. It's all right.
Nothing to worry about.
People are loving it over here.
Oh my God.
That was popular over
My
here.
girlfriend's here just for the commercials. All right. Well, we're gonna disappoint her now because we're going to the real races here. Let's get it going here. Number 1. In the mud here at Lewis Downs, 7 furlongs, G's and H grade. I got 2 of my own horses here. What do you see, Chris and Nate?
So New Alliance won their last race on race day 12, going 7 furlongs, but it was on the synthetic. But they have 3 top 3s in 4 dirt starts.
How about this? This was open to grades I, J, and K also, and none of them signed up. It was also open to 2-year-olds, and we've got tons of those with fresh legs ready to go. And only It's Time Sensitive from Mark Stable is going to make that debut as a 2-year-old. So I'm interested to see what he's going to do.
All right.
Because they wanted to do it now.
All right.
Yeah. And they're off. Body Surfer, AI Handshake out early. Regular Friday, Coach Cleaver, Lightning Section also there, but Body Surfer maintaining the lead as they come around the first turn. New Alliance now up into second, takes over first from Body Surfer. AI Handshake up in the top three with Body Surfer for Superfluous Pizzazz. AI Handshake now catching New Alliance at the halfway point and overtaking them. Half link lead, Body Surfer, Bear Patrol, New Alliance, Ping Pong. It's time sensitive, $5 footlong, all right there. Huge group up front, challenging Body Surfer, $5 footlong now in the lead as they come down the stretch. $5 footlong, holding off a huge crowd. Body Surfer, AI Handshake, it's time sensitive now making a run, taking the lead. Body Surfer trying to stay with it. It's time sensitive though, charging strong. AI Handshake, a late charge and gets the win for Alex. It's time sensitive in second. Lightning Section third. Ping Pong in fourth. New Alliance fifth. And Body Surfer also in the money. Then it's Goose Knuckle, $5 footlong, Superfluous Pizzazz, Cream of the Crop, Coach Cleaver, Bear Patrol, and Regular Butt Friday. But congrats, Alex. Win number one in race number one.
Yeah, and congrats, Alex. Of course, second place in the standings, so that's huge. It's time sensitive with a good debut there, finishing second.
All right, race number two. We've got all age grade horses here. We're going to go over to the turf and a maiden race. So all of these horses looking for their first victory in their careers. Just 8 of them, but we've got a couple debuts with Great Explorations. Love that name. And Beantown Betty there in the final gate. What else do y'all see?
Silk Vanilla Creamer's career best finish was at this distance back on race day 3, finishing third.
Ooh. All right, yeah, maybe this is her shot. I think we should be watching W Sauce, y'all, the only one here with a second place finish and has done it twice. So maybe 9th times is a charm for him.
All right, heading over to the turf. As we said, all these horses looking for their first victory. And they're off. Remaining Caboodle, Great Explorations, and Beantown Betty out early in the first group. W Sauce, y'all, Mumbo Jumbo, Pinball are all right there as well. Silk Vanilla Creamer and Credible Source. Close, tight race as they come down the backstretch. Beantown Betty, Great Explorations, 1-2 for Walt. Remaining Caboodle, Pinballer up there as well, but Great Explorations building a lead at the halfway point. Almost a full length lead over the field. Credible Source now up into second. W Sauce, y'all, takes back over and is trying to track down Great Explorations along with Pinballer. Pinballer now overtaking Great Explorations, but they're nose to nose as they come down the stretch. Pinballer, Great Explorations back and forth. Great Explorations now with a slight lead. Beantown Betty making a late run. And it's 1-2 for Walt as they head toward the finish. Great Explorations, Beantown Betty. W Sauce, y'all making a late run for third. Gets third, but it's Beantown Betty with the win. Great Explorations in second. Walt is 1, 2, and 4. W Sauce, y'all in third. Remaining Caboodle and Pinballer rounding out the money. Silk Vanilla Creamer and Credible Source. The rest of the field. Congrats to Walt. 1, 2, and 4 in race number 2.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 4. And nice close there by Beantown Betty. Walt's 2 new horses there, just about tied.
Whew.
Great
Great
race for Walt.
Nicely done. Half the horses in the money there for Walt. Let's head on to race number 3.
I'll mention because we forgot to mention earlier, but it's a downhill racing day, and these are the last downhill races of the whole year. So
awesome. All right. As you said, race number 3, we're going to do it on the downhill, 11.5 furlongs here, just 9 horses. And we've got one debut here, Wilkeman in gate number 6. What else you guys see?
Funkso Rubba's the only horse in the field with downhill experience, finished second on race day 12 at Santa Anita's downhill course.
I would say, you could look at the grades here, but there are so many variables in a race like this because you got the insane rain going on. You got an insane distance at 11.5 furlongs, and then it's on a downhill turf track. So I think it's hard to judge this one on paper, is what I'd say. So there's horses here that really look like long shots, but I think everybody's in it. Or maybe there's some horses that look like they should be in it that really aren't. I'll let them resolve it on the track.
All right. Yep. That's why they race the races, right, Chris?
That's right.
There we go. All right. To the downhill track here at Lewis Downs. And they're off. Belafonte along with Olong Johnson out early. Wilkeman, Mix a Natural, Rise to Vote Sir not far behind, but Olong Johnson building a big lead early. Funkso Rubber now in second with Rise to Vote Sir along with Going to Bed Early. Mix a Natural, Belafonte all right there. Going to Bed Early now in the lead as we get to the halfway point. Funkso Rubber strong second with Belafonte. Mix a Natural now up in the fourth. Belafonte into second, but Going to Bed Early still in the lead. Funkso Rubber right there. Up the terraces trying to get up there. Belafonte, Mix a Natural staying up there. Funkso Rubber back and forth with Belafonte. Going to Bed Early. Mix a Natural. 3 horse Maybe 4-horse races. We come down the stretch. Going to bed early, slight lead. Mix and Natural trying to catch him. Belafonte fucks the rubber there. Mount Timpanogos, Olong Johnson charging late, but going to bed early gets the win. For Guy Stable, yes. Belafonte in second. Mount Timpanogos, Olong Johnson 3 and 4 for Zach Stable. Mix and Natural and Funk So Rubber rounding out the money. Then it's Rise to Vote Sir up the terraces and Wilkeman in their debut in last. But congrats to Guy going to bed early.
Yes, congrats, Guy. And I'll say of course, Alex is in that chase for first place, and so a second place finish is important and good for him. But I think that Brett's got is going to say thank you to Guy for keeping Belafonte out of the winning circle on this one. So congrats, Guy.
Nice, yeah. Closer we get to the end, the more you're going to be rooting for horses in other stables to help you out.
That's right.
For sure. So, all right, another race here on the downhill. This one 8 furlongs on the other downhill course, correct?
Yes, that's right.
All right, just 8 furlongs as we said, 9 horses, and one debut down there. Luck of the Draw in gate number 9 for Kalen Stable, first race of their career. What else you see, Nate?
Another podcast and Ronnie and the Law both won their last races, and the Haunt won on this downhill course on race day 2. So the G grade should be looking out.
Ooh, yeah, that's the Haunt's only career win. Luck of the Draw is the daughter of Luck of the Irish and Pocket Aces. So that's exciting. That's an owner-bred horse there.
Nice. All right. We set out to the other downhill course here at Lewis Downs. And they're off. My boy Penske File up there with You've Been Warned up front, Running in the Law, chairman of the board there as well as they come around the first turn. You've Been Warned, slightly, chairman of the board there. Penske File, the Haunt now up in the 4th, Deliberate Speed, Running in the Law, chairman of the board back and forth with You've Been Warned at the halfway point. You've Been Warned now, the half-length lead. Another broadcast up in the 3rd, Running in the Law there as well, but You've Been Warned stretching that lead as they come down the stretch. Almost a full-length lead over chairman of the board, who's got a big lead over the rest of the field. The Haunt there in 3rd with Penske File, Running in the Law, but You've Been Warned trying to hold off chairman of the board as they come down the stretch. You've Been Warned looks like he did, and You've Been Warned wins for Nate's Stable, chairman of the board in 2nd. Penske File, Luck of the Draw. Luck of the Draw ends up in 3rd. Penske File 4th. Another podcast 6th. Running in the Law, rounding out the money. The Haunt in 7th. Goes without saying in 8th. And unfortunately, Deliberate Speed looks to be injured. Congrats to Nate on the win. You've Been Warned. Let's go to Chris for an update on Deliberate Speed.
Yes, Jimmy pulled up. Deliberate Speed pulled up lame there a little bit. Thankfully, it's the least severe of the injury types. It was just going to be double race fatigue for Deliberate Speed.
Good.
So congrats, congrats to Nate.
Thank you.
And he's in 4th. He's still in the chase for that championship, which would be a 3 in a row, of course.
For sure. All right. Race number 5, our first claiming race of the day over on the muddy dirt here at Lewis Downs. It's a long one, 12 furlongs in that slap and just 7 horses. And let's see, we've got Millionaire making their debut along with Trickeration entitled 3, as Chris mentioned, and This Unknown. Try to say it right. I don't know what that came out as, but This Unknown there as well. What else you see, Nate and Chris?
Well, just wanted to reemphasize this is number 500. Air horn, air horn, air horn noise. Get ready.
All right, hey, let's see it. Race number 500.
Air horn, air horn noise. All right, over to the slot. And they're off. This Unknown, along with the Rural Juror out early, along with Millionaire entitled 3. What have you, Deliveroo, and Trickeration rounding out our field. The Rural Juror, though, a slight lead over This Unknown. Millionaire in 3rd, Deliveroo up to 4th. What have you, Trickeration entitled 3 rounding out our field. The Rural Juror, though, holding a half-length lead as they come down the stretch. Millionaire trying to catch him. What have you, making a late run up into 4th, now into 3rd. Back and forth there, but the Rural Juror, huge lead, trying to close it out here. What have you, a late run along with Deliveroo. What have you into 2nd, gets 2nd, but the Rural Juror wins it for my stable. Millionaire in 3rd, Deliveroo 4th, This Unknown 5th, entitled 3 gets in the money, and Trickeration jogging to the finish, but it's my stable, the Rural Juror, with the victory.
Hey, congrats, Jimmy.
Woo!
All right.
I was feeling so honored to be in the presence of Jimmy announcing, but then to be in the presence of what
have you?
Ah.
I hope you could all hear Kaylin there. She's thrilled to be in the room while Jimmy said, "What have you?" Hey, so we had a claim.
Nice.
It was a Millionaire, finishing third there. It was claimed by Nate Stable.
Hooray!
You done.
All right, so Millionaire to Nate.
6,500.
That's right,
it, just for that one.
6,500.
Nicely done, Nate.
Thank you. Thank
A
you.
millionaire for $6,500. Not too
How
bad.
about that?
All right. On to the next one. Another claiming race, 25K. We'll get you one of these horses, 8 furlongs on the downhill track. And Arabian Sun making their debut for Nate's stable. And some other veterans here. What else you see, guys?
Toe Beans finished second in her last start on race day 7, trying to break through here. The other D grade, Mademoiselle, only her second start of the season, so trying to get some run in.
So this is a $25,000 claim race, and 2 D grade horses. Walt went in heavy. That's a good price for D grade horses. They're not usually available for that price, but so in exchange, Walt's got both favorites here, and they're coming out of the far gates, 6 and 7.
Nice. All right. We'll see if they can hold off the rest of the field out on the downhill track. And they're off. Mademoiselle with an early lead. The Dude Abides right there with Toe Beans, Mediocre Samaritan, Arabian Sun, Astronomy, and Face the Facts rounding out the field. But Mademoiselle, the big lead. 1-2 now for Walt with Toe Beans up in the second. The Dude Abides, Arabian Sun, Mediocre Samaritan, that second group. But strong number 2 right now. The Dude Abides trying to make their way up into that top 2. But Walt's horses running it right now as they come around the last turn. Mediocre Samaritan now up in the third. The Dude Abides not far behind him. Arabian Sun trying to catch him, but Toe Beans and Mademoiselle running this race. 1-2 for Walt. Arabian Sun making a late run. Mademoiselle back and forth with Toe Beans, and it's going to be Mademoiselle with the win. Toe Beans in second. 1-2 for Walt. Arabian Sun trying to get third. Dude Abides closing late. Arabian Sun in third for Nate. The Dude Abides in fourth. Astronomy fourth. Mediocre Samaritan in third. And Face the Facts. Facing the fact that they finished last. But Walt 1-2 in race number 6.
And that's for the second time today.
That's right.
He's finished 1-2.
Nicely done.
Good day for Walt so far.
All right. As we said, both of those horses D grade in a $25,000 claiming race. What do we got, Chris?
Yes, Jimmy. No claims.
No claims. Okay.
So they'll head back to Walt's stable, and he'll take them.
All right.
Winner in second place.
Along with the money from first and second. All right. Much bigger field here for the next claiming race. 35,000 over on the synthetic track, 9.5 furlongs. And let's see, we've got Wide Open Spaces making their debut, and Tribe Called Taft. Woo, that's a tough one. Making their debut for Nate's stable. What else do you see?
So Walt Stradivarius, the 2024 Breeders' Cup Sprint champion, is only the second stakes winner to be in a claiming race since Runt this week last year.
Wow.
Nice.
That's some knowledge. Can't top that. And how about Walt Stradivarius had a commercial today too? So if you were watching, maybe you submitted the claim. I like the diversity of stables in this race. This looks like a good one.
Absolutely.
Oh, how about this? Intentional Sound is the son of A grade Sounds of the Void and B grade Intention. So some bloodlines there. Some pedigree.
All right, over to the synthetic track here at Lewis Downs. And they're off. Street Credibility along with Inventory Stickler out early with Arbitrary Lines. Dungeon Master now up in the front. Walt running 1, 2, and 3 for a second there. Street Credibility, Dungeon Master running it right now. The Old Elm Tree up in the second. Walt Stradivarius back up in the second, taking the lead from Street Credibility and running away from the field at the halfway point. Wide Open Spaces up in the second. Tribe Called Taft in that second group along with the Old Elm Tree, Street Credibility, Wide Open Spaces. But Walt Stradivarius, a giant 2-linked lead over the field as they come down the backstretch. Nobody's catching Walt Stradivarius. They get the win. Close for second. Street Credibility in the second. Is it going to be 1-2 for Walt for the third race today? Yes, it is. Inventory Stickler in third. Let's Play 2 and fourth. Then it's Moonbeam and Dungeon Master rounding out the money. Walt getting 1, 2, and 6. Tribe Called Tapped in second. Then it's Wide Open Spaces, Intentional Sound, Arbitrary Lines, The Old Elm Tree, Conspire, Angel, and Windy City. But Walt, third race of the day where they go 1, 2. How about that?
How about that?
Amazing.
Congrats, Walt. Great day. Best day that's Walt has had this year for sure already. And how about Walt Stradivarius on his commercial day?
Woo!
Finally, what is it? A finely crafted instrument, Nate?
Yes, finely crafted.
Yes. And as Nate pointed out, a former stakes winner. So let's talk about claims.
Ooh.
Did anyone claim the finely crafted instrument of racing former stakes winner? The answer is no. And also no other claim.
All right.
But hey, good day for Walt. Huh?
Absolutely.
All right.
Next race on tap. We've got one more claiming race, I believe.
That's right.
95,000, 11.5 furlongs on the downhill, and a nice field here. Some strong horses, and Zoom Zoom making their debut from Johnny Stable. My boy Yandy Boulevard making their debut as well, along with the Bloodlust. I'm not gonna say that every time, but that's good. Let's see, Revengeance, as is tradition. Peter Winkle, all making their debuts as well. Yeah. All right, what else you see, Nate and Chris?
What the Fluff is only the second time a C-grade horse has been entered into a claiming race since race day 2, 2024, when it was for old time's sake.
Okay, and they got claimed, is that right?
Yes.
That was, I think, Walt, and then claimed by Andrew, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, but so I was going to mention the $95,000 claim price. That's about as good as winning a stakes race if you get the claim, and the owner being most aggressive towards perhaps getting that is Brett with C grade, putting a C grade horse up there, and that's What the Fluff. It's also, this is a unique distance and surface, so it's not a race for everyone, but we got nonetheless 14 entries, 11.5 downhill in the rain. So yeah, let's
be fun. Yeah, I threw 4 of my horses in this race.
How about
Max?
All
right, last horse in the gate, and they're off. Ambush, No Diggity, Osmosis Moses, all right there. It's Ambush and Osmosis Moses in front as we go down the backstretch. Yandy Boulevard now up in the second and taking the lead at the halfway point. Yandy Boulevard, Osmosis Moses, 1, 2. Revengeance now trying to catch up. Ambush a strong third, though. Yandy Boulevard now building a big lead as they come around the last turn. Revengeance now up in the third. No Diggity making their way up in the fourth. Revengeance in second. No Diggity right there. I don't think anybody's catching Yandy Boulevard, though. Huge lead as they come down the stretch. My boy, Yandy Boulevard with the win. Revengeance a strong second. Ambush in the third for my stable as well. Then it's Combustication in fourth. No Diggity fifth. Osmosis Moses rounding out the money. Honeymoon's Over, What the Fluff, Ampersand, Peter Winkle, The Bloodlust, As Is Tradition, Zoom Zoom, and No Fanfare rounding out the field. But my stable dominating 1, 3, and 4. Yandy Boulevard wins their debut. Let's go.
Yeah, congrats, Jimmy. And how about this? We just watched the baseball player that this horse is named after.
Yandy Diaz.
We just watched him play live a couple hours ago. And good finish for Revengeance there, bred by Stefan. Not such a great finish for No Fanfare because of course Walt's having a bad day today. No.
Nice.
All right, so we still got 4 races left.
Woo!
A big slate of races today.
Nice. Good races so far, though. Let's keep it up here as we head over to the slot. Race number 9, $90,000 purse, 7.5 furlongs. And we've got some talented horses in this one. A couple C-grade horses. We got Chasmo's Return making their debut as a B-grade horse for Johnny Stable, along with the F Word for Zach Stable, Magic Bullet for Nate Stable, Juggernaut for Guy, and that'll round out the Indeed there. Last gate, Indeed, from Kalen Stable, a D-grade horse. As I said, yeah, a lot of talent here. What else you guys see?
So a bit of a long shot, but Mr. President has 2 wins on dirt, one of which was at this distance on race day 15 last year.
Oh, okay. Dark horse, Mr. President. How about just that it's funny that a horse named Returned is making their debut?
Nice. All right, over to the muddy dirt track here, Lewis Downs. And they're off on a technicality. Dig a little deeper, slick as a whistle, Mr. President, volcanic eruption, all right there as we go around the first turn on a technicality. Now getting overtaken, Magic Bullet up in front with a half-length lead over Indeed, Mr. President there as well on a technicality. Macamaroni and Cheese, Jealous Lover in that group. We are back and forth. Nate running 1 and 2 right now. Macamaroni and Cheese with a big lead. Magic Bullet in second. Indeed now in third. Trying to catch Magic Bullet, but Nate's horse is still running 1-2 as they come down the stretch. Chasmo Return now up in the fourth. Slick as a Whistle trying to make a late run. But Macamaroni and Cheese with a almost 2 horse length lead. Slick as a Whistle, Magic Bullet, all making a late run along with Chasmo Returned, and Chasmo Returned strong finish in second, but Nate gets the win. Macamaroni and Cheese, Slick as a Whistle in third, Magic Bullet fourth for Nate, Indeed fifth on a technicality, rounding out the money. Then Jealous Lover, Dig a Little Deeper, Volcanic Eruption, the F Word, Juggernaut, Bamboozler, Liberty, Take a Chill Pill, Mr. President, and Spoikinator rounding out the field. But Nate, 1 and 4.
Yeah.
There you go. Congrats, Nate.
Yeah.
Win for Nate. Yeah, he's still chasing top 3 finish there too.
Indeed.
And we should have highlighted that when Yandi Boulevard won, as Jimmy's already in the top 3. So
Yes.
Stables near the top of the standings having impactful races today.
As we said, every race counting here. And race number 10.
So we got 10, and then 11 and 12.
Yeah. All right, 95,000 here. A full slate for this one. Man, so much talent. So many debuts. Downtown Skyline. Mama Needs a Mai Tai. Plinko. A Mean Sea Anemone. Savvy Dynasty. Trajector's Secret. Pumpkin Spice Latte. All making their debuts. What else y'all see?
For old time's sake and Bryce's Fester both won back-to-back races. Can either of them overcome Checkmate to win 3 in a row?
Oh, yeah, let's see, because of course, every horse takes a deep sigh, feeling bad about themselves when they have to face Checkmate. And Alex, who again got passed by Brett last time up, is going in big here by putting Checkmate in this one. Brett has an A-grade horse racing today also, but just happened they're not matched up against each other in the same race, so this one's big for Checkmate. And then I also noticed when I pulled the horses for their post position in this one that the favorites are right there in the middle, B, A, and B. That's like how they line them up in Olympic swimming. You know, they put the favorites in the middle.
Track as well.
Yeah, and so that's interesting.
Awesome.
All right.
All right. As we said, all the gates are full for this one. And they're off. For old time's sake, Trajector's Secret, Downtown Skyline, as stated, all up there. And as stated now, taking the early lead down the backstretch. Checkmate up in the third. Downtown Skyline, Disnelodian, Gator Knight, A Mean Sea Anemone, all in the second group. But Checkmate with a lead slightly over as stated at the halfway point. Disnelodian, Downtown Skyline, Miso Soup, all in that second group, trying to catch Mama Needs Mai Tai now up in there. We've got a 3 or 4 horse race as they come around the turn. Disnelodian, Mama Needs a Mai Tai, Checkmate now up in the front. Checkmate, Mama Needs a Mai Tai taking the lead back and pulling away here down the stretch. Mama Needs a Mai Tai in their first race gets the win for Charlie's Stable. Checkmate gets second. Miso Soup in third. A Mean Sea Anemone in their debut in fourth. Don't Tell Judy fifth. Trajector's Secret rounding out the money. Then it's Big Sky, Gator Knight, Savvy Dynasty for old time's sake, Disnelodian, Pumpkin Spice Latte, Plinko, Cadillac Zack, Downtown Skyline, Stay Hydrated, as stated, Bryce's Fester, Bill of Rights, and Track Star. Not looking like a Track Star in last here. But congrats to Charlie. Mama Needs a Mai Tai for the win.
Yeah, congrats, Charlie. And Charlie bred that horse, and in their debut, they beat Checkmate.
Woo!
So Brett's thankful for that result too.
Is he on? Because he would unmute himself and go, woo!
It wouldn't. So, woo! On behalf of Charlie, he'll see.
I was gonna say I didn't hear him.
He'll see later that his horse that he bred, Mama Needs a Mai Tai, got there. There we go. Christian did it.
Nice. Nice. All right, on to the
all right.
penultimate race
That's right.
of the day here at Lewis Downs. Race number 11. Last 2 here on the downhill tracks. First one, 11 and a half furlongs. And let's see, no debuts in this one. What else do you guys see?
Roulette won the last time they were in post number 1 back on race day 4. See if they could do it again.
Okay. We got 2 horses here with 4 career wins. That's a lot of success. That's Freeman T and Runt. There was a clear grade favorite, but and that's a good authority for Christian. But again, this is 11 and a half furlongs on downhill turf and in the rain. So we'll see.
All right, set back to the downhill tracks. And they're off. Wind up delivery along with Jazz, Dork Dynamite, and Immortal Glow with Runt. Runt now taking the early lead. Jazz trying to keep pace, but Runt trying to pull away. Half-length lead over Jazz. Jazz a full-length lead over the rest of the field. Good authority now making their way up in the third, but Runt starting to pull away at the halfway point. Huge lead for Runt, stretching it to 2-length Freeman T. Wind up delivery, trying to make it up there for Kalen 2-3, but Runt doesn't look like they can be caught for Nate Stable. It's a race for second right now. Stefan Stable, sorry. That's right, he bottom. Runt wins it for Stefan Stable. Everybody else is running for second. Executrix and wind up delivery in second. Third right now, back and forth. It's going to be a photo finish for second. And it's wind up delivery in second. Executrix in third, along with Jazz, good authority. Freeman C. Rounding out the money, then it's Immortal Glow, Paid Actor, Fumble Rooski, Brostradamus, Dork Dynamite, Eola Zybar, and Roulette rounding out the field. But Runt for Stefan Stable, that's right.
Yeah.
With the win.
There you go.
What a
So,
win. Huge
yeah,
win.
I mean, Runt
Vintage
Secretary
Runt.
style here.
big time. So then, yeah, Runt won by this much. And then it felt like we had to wait quite a long time before we had second place. But yeah, good result for Executrix there for sure.
There you go. Want to make sure you got that one good. Nice. All right. One more race today here at Lewis Downs. Stands are packed for the finale. 8 furlongs on the downhill. And we've got one horse short of a full field, but so much talent here. Dirksen Caicos and Beach Care, the A-grade horses. We've got Hypothermia making their debut for Nate Stable, along with Recount. What else y'all see?
Dirksen Caicos has back-to-back second place finishes, but won on this very downhill course back on race day 2.
Oh wow, yeah, getting his experience on the downhill. Another debut is Year of Our Lord from Kalen Stable. Yeah, 2 A-grade horses in this one, Dirksen Caicos, as we mentioned, and Beach Carrot, who's returning from being a mother that's been out all year. Checkmate for Alex, couldn't get the win in their race today. Can Beach Carrot do it for Brett in this one? Right, because that's the battle for first and second. Oh, also, hey, Recount is Recount's dad is Hanging Chad, so that's a great name.
Hell yeah.
Great name.
All right, final race of the day here. In the rain. Last horse in the gate and they're off. Anybody but Gary and Beach Carrot, along with They're All Pipes up there early. They're All Pipes taking the early lead. Beach Carrot now overtaking them and stretching their lead over the field. Recounting second. They're All Pipes right there as well. Elemento P, La Rambla trying to make their way up into third. Beach Carrot, though, full length lead over They're All Pipes. Elemento P making a run and overtaking They're All Pipes. Beach Carrot, though, with a huge lead. Dirksen Caicos making a late run, trying to get up there into second. Still a full length behind Beach Carrot as they come down the stretch. La Rambla, They're All Pipes. Dirksen Caicos, Elemento P trying to catch Beach Carrot. They're All Pipes. Getting close. Photo finish. They're All Pipes. Can't make up the ground. Loses by a nose, but it's Brett and Beach Carrot with the win. Anybody but Gary in third. Dirksen Caicos fourth. Elemento P fifth. And Recount. Rounding out the money then Pride of Scotland. La Rambla, Year of Our Lord. Pocket Aces. Renegade Chop. Gladiator's Best. Swamp Knocker. Margot Tenenbaum. His boy Elroy. My boy Elroy. Hypothermia. Rusty's Revenge. I know you are, but one of mine. No thanks, Diplomat. My Dark Horse Rusty's Revenge. Not giving me a shriek, but congrats again, Brett. Beach Carrot.
There you go.
Winning in their return.
There you go. Congrats, Brett. And that's
That's
big.
intense.
Yeah, and a real close one there,
Absolutely.
Stefan. Okay.
Oh, man.
Heartbreaking.
Photo finish for sure.
Let's take a look at the standings.
All right, as Chris updates the standings here. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. I believe we're
let's see.
going.
I don't remember off the top of my head
Okay,
either,
go
but
see if I
this
can-
this should load pretty quick, I think. Did it go? No, not yet.
All right, yeah, one more race day at Lewis Downs in 2 weeks before we head to Del Mar, and then of course the Breeders' Cup meet 2 weeks after that, August 23rd. So just 3 race days remaining. But as you'll see here when Chris updates the standings,
there
we
it went.
still got, yeah, here we go, updated. We still got a lot to race for. Everybody's close here. Woo!
Yeah, the top 6 didn't change I think 7 or 8. So not a lot of shuffling, but I mean they were important, right? The margins matter too.
Yeah, less than 61,000 between first and second, and yeah, about 65,000 between second and third. So yeah, whoo,
So good one.
close here as we come down the stretch, if you will.
That's right. So hey, I'm going to not update as much as I normally do immediately after the broadcast. I will either tomorrow or later tonight. I'll put up the results sheet and see if I can get the YouTube upload started. And then otherwise, sorry for the delay, but it's coming.
All right, sounds
That's
good.
That's it, Jimmy.
Thank you, Nate. For Nate Willett, Chris Lewis, I am Jimmy Rakes signing off. We'll see you again in 2 weeks right back here in Lewis Downs. Have a great night, everybody.